Krista began as Patricia's friend, but now she is my friend
as
well. I call her my friend because after the introductions,
I call dibs.
No. Krista's one of my people too.
That's fine. We can share her.
So I have you down as a transformational life coach, but I also know you are an author of a book that I am very fond of.
Oh, thanks.
Yes, called Why Am I Yelling? And it's about relationships. So you bring that expertise into this as well. And you're talking about why help is essential in a time of crisis. And to be honest, I've learned a lot watching your journey of help, because I think if no other example in the world of how helping others kind of takes you out of your own space.
Yes. Yep.
That is like a message that you have helped me fall into.
Aww.
So I'm so excited that you're here to share that with everybody. And I would love to hear about all the things you're doing because it's a big deal.
This looks good.
It looks good. I like it.
Hello, everybody. This is, I'm coming to you literally from my downstairs family room because everyone else is homeschooling in other parts of my house. I'm like, you can't come downstairs. All you people need to stay upstairs. This is talk about like metamorphosis and like the butterfly thing. I'm just going to like interject for a second, but I don't know about you. When somebody close to you passes in your family, I don't know if anybody has called on like an animal or something in their life, like a bird or something, right?
Yeah.
So for my mom or my family, when somebody passes, they turn into a butterfly. So I think that is a very apropos moment so thank you for sharing that. That was very sweet.
Thank you, Krista.
So today we were talking about help, and I want to talk about it in two different scenarios. I'm doing a lot of stuff to help others right now, but I think first, especially in times of crisis, I did a webinar yesterday about relationships, and I talked about how we can help ourselves first, because that's really, really important. And being able to compartmentalize and schedule out and do what you need to do for yourself to get help for you, to be able to give help to other people is really important. So first, I just want to talk about some of the ways that we can take care of ourselves, which I know that we're talking about this through the entire summit, like self-care and mindset, and making sure that you're prioritizing yourself and helping yourself through this process. Lean on your children to help you do the dishes and do the laundry and do all the things, because now we're all stuck in these spaces for an extended period of time, and we're all getting a little bit batty sometimes, right? Like it can weigh on your nerves and your kids' nerves and your husband's nerves and all the things. So start there with the help. Make sure you're helping yourself first. I am, unbeknownst to me, a helper. It's something that I've always been. It's not something that I have really focused on. I've always been a volunteer. I've always been somebody who has been interested in helping other people change their lives or excel or promote or whatever, even through, my career and all the things that I've done in the past prior to starting my own coaching business. But what is really important for me, I think, is learning how to help others. And I think my grandmother was a really big influence on that. She was always very engaged and active in her community. Even when she had nothing, she was always giving, right? Always giving to others, always donating her time, always spending time at nursing homes, delivering Meals on Wheels, different clubs and charities. And that was something that was really always very important to me. So I guess I didn't really start doing all that stuff until, I guess, after 9/11. After September 11th happened, everybody kind of wanted to jump into action and help, do something. But there was nothing really to help with other than being a first responder, right? There weren't any lives to save, unfortunately. There weren't any blood drives to donate to because there was no blood to give. So it was the craziest feeling of helplessness in a time when we needed to be helping so many other people, right? So that kind of like opened my eyes to charity and giving back and that kind of stuff. And that has led to, since I've now had children, volunteering for school functions, volunteering to raise money for different causes, volunteering to sit on boards at our local, at school and at like our local sports things, and helping to raise money to help other people in our communities who don't have the resources that so one of us sitting on this call probably have. So now here we are in a time of crisis, and we're being asked to help in a way that is much different. We are being asked to not help with hands-on. Our help is moving away and getting away from this and separating ourselves from each other, which is a really hard thing to do for people who want to be helpful and want to pitch in and want to jump in and want to do all these things. And I did an Instagram story about it yesterday because someone was saying, you know, you left New York, you're a New Yorker and you love your city so much and you love where you're from and you always support, you know, whatever is happening there, and you left. So why? Explain that to me. And my explanation is, it was requested of us to leave. Like it is requested of us to not be in the center of the city right now. Lock yourself in your apartments, stay in your homes, do what you need to do, right? Because look at what's happening. I mean, Andrew Cuomo is like, I have the hots for him so bad right now. I can't even stand myself. It's unbelievable. He needs to like be seriously running the show right now for the entire country. He's doing an amazing job.
Yes,
I mean, every day I'm like, is it 11 o'clock? I got to watch the presser. I got to watch him. I got to watch him. So we're learning a lot about this kind of crisis that we've never had to have. We've never been exposed to, right? So it's a learning experience for all of us. And I find that wanting to jump in and help other people is something that I like to do. And I didn't know how to do it, especially when we were all being told, stay away. You can't come to this facility and help give out food. You can't come to this facility and help, you know, give blood. You can't do any of those things because we're not welcome to incite more of this virus. So my kids are both New York City's public school kids, and I've been sitting on boards and PTAs and all the things, and I know the statistics very well about how many children are in need in our public school system. Not even kids that don't even go to public school, not even kids that aren't in school yet. So, you know, we have the largest school system in the country. We house over 1 million children every single day in our school systems. Our districts are bigger than most people's school districts in their own counties and their own states. Somebody said to me, you know, how come it's so easy for Denver to feed 79,000 kids? How come New York can't figure it out so quickly? And I'm like, because we have our population of just children in the New York City school system is bigger than your entire state. Like, you have to think about these things when you think about volume and numbers and how this stuff works, right? And a lot of people you can't wrap your mind around those numbers. So I belong to a bunch of Facebook groups. We all do, the mom groups and all the things, and a lot of New York City mom groups. And I was in one of them probably as this was all starting to ramp up, when it was getting serious and teachers were calling for school closures and we were still waiting and we were listening to the governor and the mayor and all the things. And the thing that would keep me up at night, because I'm also a terrible sleeper, would be what happens to the kids that don't have homes to go to? What happens to the kids that don't have resources to have a hot meal on their table every day? Let alone 3, or snacks. I mean, I don't know about you, but my kids think my house is snack central right now. I mean, they're eating me out of house and home. And my husband is like, if you don't stop eating, we're going to be eating dirt in a minute. Like, so stop, right?
That's exactly.
It's
my
unbelievable.
Telling my kids to like ration their snacks.
Yes. Like,
absolutely.
Make believe you're in school. Like, exactly. Literally make believe you're in school. So the idea that I literally would lay awake in bed at night and I would be crying and I'd be like, I don't know how we can help these children because we can't physically be here. So I support a charity called the Global Empowerment Mission. I've been supporting them for several years because I know that most of the money that they raise goes toward victims of their charities that they support. Hurricane relief, the Australia wildfires, the California wildfires, all kinds of things that they've been doing for several years. And I said to myself, you know what? I'm just going to reach out to them. What the hell? I mean, who knows? Maybe I can make a phone call. Maybe I can send them an email, maybe something, and let them know that I want to do something. I'm a mother in New York City. I have a large network through groups. And there's another mother. Her name is Carly Snyder. She's a doctor and she's also in one of these groups with me. I've never met her before. We just started talking online in one of the, group threads. And we talked about how we could help. And I said, I'm just going to reach out. And I made a phone call, and I called the 1-800 number on their website. I got a voicemail that said, this is my name. This is my telephone number. You have a better time. You would have an easier time getting a response from me if you text me. And so I texted this girl, and she called me back, and she put me in touch with the National Logistics Director for the Global Empowerment Mission. And her name is Sue Cushman, and she's a doll. And she was like, what can you do? And then she got me on the phone with my now doctor friend, Carly, and the founder of the Global Empowerment Mission. His name is Michael Capone. And we sat on the phone, and they said, what is it you guys want to do? And we said, we want to raise money, and we want to give money, cash cards. We don't know how this is going to look, but we want to raise money for the 114,000 children that live in shelters. We want to raise money for the families that, even though, yes, New York City is now doing grab and go breakfast and lunch at some school locations and some distribution centers, we want to be able to give these families, even if it's $100, money to be able to go to the grocery store and put non-perishable foods in their pantries, or get the medicine they need, or put it toward childcare, because a lot of these people are essential workers and they will not have the resources to do this stuff. And when you start thinking about the numbers, like, you need millions and millions and millions of dollars to make a big impact. But you know what? $100 here and $100 there still is something to be thankful for and to be helping with, right? So Michael and Sue were like, we think this is a great idea. You guys have a reach of a few 100,000 people between your groups and stuff. You know, if everybody donated $1 between the 500,000 people, you'd have $500,000. And in theory, yes, you would, but it's funny when you actually take action and you make these things happen, how many people don't donate. And it's like, I'm sorry, all you people have been on here talking about how you want to help, you want to help, you want to help. Just give me $5. Like, I'm not asking for $700,000. I'm asking for like $10, because that's what gets you to where you need to go. So they said yes. They hooked us up with our own bank account through them. Like, I don't have to do anything other than promote it and have conversations with other moms who are promoting it, have people put it on their social media, have things happen, but we're raising tens of thousands of dollars. And our first round of cash cards was ordered the other day. And now we are working with local government and the Department of Education to get those facilitated to specific locations. And I'm working with like city council people and state senators to figure out what the most urgent locations are in New York City in the 5 boroughs to have. Now, the other thing is, how do we get them to these people? Because we can't go in and deliver them, right. Which is kind of sad, because it's like, you know, Michael was saying the other day, that's kind of a bummer, because what we like to do is we like to bring in the people who started the movement and have them like hugging the moms and giving out the cash cards and all, and we can't, like, I can't touch you. I hate that I can't touch you. Right. I hate it. So now we're thinking of like working with the National Guard. Like, it's the craziest shit is happening right now. So small things make a difference, right? A small donation, a small way to give back. And right now, I think the best way that we give back is by donating our time and donating our resources. And our resources are, you know, the $5 that we have laying around, you know, in our pockets or whatever. And I also know that, you know, a lot of people are nervous, right? A lot of people are nervous because jobs are going to be impacted. They've already been impacted. I mean, I have several friends in New York City who've had to close their businesses because they just can't sustain it right now. Laying off workers, laying off their entire staffs. GoFundMes are coming up left and right about this restaurant and that store and this and that. And you want to be able to spread it around. And at the same time, we probably everybody on this call is being impacted. I lost, you know, 3 of my contracts got canceled or got moved until the end of the year. And so that for me right now is a burden, because I don't have that money coming in, but we're figuring it out. Right. And that's how you have to be resourceful in times of crisis. And you have to be open to the fact that not everything is going to look exactly how it looked when you started this journey. Right. And I think I was having that conversation with my mother this morning, and I think, you know, she's 73. And so it's a hard, she's been through stuff, right? She's been through things. They lived through Vietnam, and it didn't look different for my dad when he got back from the service. And and all that kind of stuff. But I think none of us know what it's going to look like when we emerge from this. Business is going to look a lot different. Relationships are going to look a lot different. Our outlook on a lot of things are going to look a lot, it's going to look a lot different. And I think that if we focus on what we can truly focus on in the immediate present, that's how we're going to sustain ourselves. I mean, if we're stuck in these houses for 3 months with each other, we're going to rip each other's heads out if we don't, have something to channel our energy, right? So giving back is a way that I like to do it. And so for now, it's finding a cause that you can partner with. It could be doing some volunteer work for a cause where they are so overwhelmed with donations and how to, logistically get it somewhere. And they need somebody who can do a spreadsheet for them, right? If there is a cause that you are feeling compelled to help, if you are an animal lover and there's a shelter near you that they need, to get the word out about something, or if you are somebody like me who wants to help children and families in need, or if you are, and the offshoot of this is we are also raising money for healthcare workers. So in conjunction with what we're doing for families with children and that kind of stuff, there is another partner fund that is going toward getting masks and PPE equipment and all of that stuff. And we are working tirelessly to identify the hospitals that are in the most need. And right now it's New York City. And we are getting requests at minute by, you should see the emails that we're getting minute by minute for, I'm a hospital here, I need this. I'm a hospital here, I need that. It really is, first of all, it's unbelievable that we're actually in this situation, number one, which makes me absolutely crazy, but that's a completely different story. And second of all, it's it really opens your eyes to where we're missing the boat. Right? What we have missed the boat on so many things because we took our eyes off the prize and what really matters, and we put it somewhere else that really doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter that we're paying somebody $20 million in bonuses. Nobody deserves that. The people that got that person there deserve that, right? Our entire mindset after this needs to shift into how we treat corporations in this country and how we treat small businesses and the people that actually work to make all of this be successful. And I think we will emerge from this and it's going to be a completely different place.
And
a completely
we'll know
different place.
Where our vulnerabilities lie too, because this is
Absolutely.
exposed our vulnerabilities. And if I can interject for just a second, it's so interesting because right before this happened, literally Corona, I don't know if it was I think it was even before Corona was in China. I just literally before. My daughter got on this project of buying fleece material and making baby blankets. Not like we made as kids. And she was inspired. What can I do? And so she bought, my husband invested a ton and she got all these materials with these beautiful baby patterns on one side and solid patterns on the other. And she was like, I want to give them. So I was like, I know, because it was right before Christmas. And I said, every Christmas lesson is about receiving. This Christmas, we're going to give and give and give and give and give. So that's how it came about. What could we do this Christmas? Benevolent. How could we give and get our focus off receiving? So the blanket thing came into play. So I called all the children's hospitals in my neighborhood and talked to her, who talked to her, who talked to her, who talked to her, finally, to talk to the person.
Yeah.
Messages for kids in distress. I left messages for women in distress. I left probably 12 messages for people trying to find a home. And the thing is, I wanted my daughter to do the delivery at that time because I was like, I want you to talk, even if you don't get it to the people it's going to, I want someone to have a conversation with you when you hand it to them that's going to explain to you the benefit of your heart, where your heart is going. I got no callbacks. And I was thinking when I saw your thing come up, Trish and I have been talking too about this and it's been all over the line. Yes, they have to homeschool but I know my kids are having a freaking damn hard time concentrating on academics right now. But where they're naturally inclined is to want to give and to, my son's excited because he has messenger kids and he can connect with his friends. Yeah. They want the connection. And it would be I don't know how to do it, but you had me thinking as you were speaking. I was like, wouldn't it be great to start some sort of charitable momentum, but sourced by the children? So
Yep.
it would be children helping, like an organization that raises money so that children can be a part of helping whomever. They don't have to be necessarily helping children, but how do we involve them in the giving? Because they feel as helpless as we do right now. In fact, they probably feel more helpless because they have no control over their environment, even more on an up level. So I think it's an interesting conversation to be able to take what you're doing and inspiring us to do, and how can we involve the children in that process?
I think that's a great idea. And I think that, especially now, okay, so here's an example. Hospitals in New York City are not allowing pregnant mothers to have anybody in the rooms with them when they are delivering, right? So you're pregnant and you're going to the doctor and you're having this baby, and now your partner can't be in the delivery room with you because of all of this. Now, I don't know if that's going to lift soon because the hospitals are getting what they need with regard to the PPE stuff. They're getting masks now, and stuff is starting to roll into New York City, which is great. So I don't know if that's going to change, but maybe there's a way for you to reach out to a New York City hospital and say, hey, you know what? I know there's going to be a mom, or there's going to be some moms coming in and having babies, and my daughter just made 50 blankets, and I'd like to send the hospital 10 of them. And if you can give them, on behalf of, like if she wants to name it something cute or whatever she wants to call her blanket business, if you can give those to the moms who are really need it, like they don't have a partner and now their baby can have a new blanket from us. And and this is a charitable donation, and we're giving this. I think that might be something that they would love, honestly. I think it's a lovely gesture. And I think it is something that probably would be welcome. I would start reaching out to like birthing centers in New York City, start there. All the big hospitals, I would try to find like their labor and delivery person or something. And even do it locally. I mean, I don't know if they're doing all this stuff in Florida. I mean, I imagine they're going to start doing all this stuff in Florida too.
Yeah, in Florida, you can only have your partner in the room. Everything else, nobody else is allowed to come or go. And unless something's wrong with the baby, you go home the same day.
Yes. So I think, start locally then. Like call your local hospital and say, hey, you know what? My kids really wanted to do something to give back. And this is what my daughter has been doing. And I've reached out to a few different places during the holidays, and we didn't really have any luck, but we really feel like now might be a good time for us to reach back out to you. And this is what we have available. I think that you probably will get I hope that you get a really good response, because I think it's a beautiful idea. And I think that she's definitely onto something.
I really, I love that. I know that there's some local moms here on Long Island that are also getting their kids to make the masks. So apparently like they're, I mean, they're not the N95 masks, obviously, but there's something to help people. And I know, like, I've seen some pictures on Facebook, which is great. I think this is a wonderful opportunity even for us to ask our kids, prompted by what Linda was saying, what do you want to do to help? How do you want to help? And do the research together. Like, maybe brainstorm together. It can become a really fun family activity. Because there's lots of things that can be done.
Yeah. And I think this is, I think for me, this has been a really good, we say it all the time as women who own our own businesses, right? It's like we are allowing our children to see us be vulnerable, see our success and see our failures, and watch us, do these things, right? And my kids are now older, right? They're 14 and 8. So they have my older one definitely has an idea of, he knows what all this means and how important it is and that kind of stuff. And it's fun to have these conversations with them as they mature, because now they really see what kind of impact you're doing, right? And like he came home the other day, or he came out of his classroom, which is now my bedroom, or whatever you want to call it, his location. And he's
the
like,
Rizzo school.
Yes. He's like, Mom, one of the girls was talking about, because some of his friends follow me on Instagram. Mom, one of the girls was talking about, seeing you on TV the other day. And I was like, yeah. And he goes, like, a lot of people saw you. And I'm like, yeah, probably a lot of people saw me. And he was like, I didn't realize it was going to be that many. And I was like, well, it's national news, dude. So a lot of people probably did see me. I don't know. And he's like, and her mom like made a donation. And I was like, that's awesome. And that's, you know, like, that's how you have to do that. And so if they see you be excited about something, and now you're seeing her be excited about something, and you want to help her do it, then it's a great way to connect, especially now because we all feel helpless.
And you know what I was just thinking too is and it's so funny. It's like I'm about to take my own advice, because on this summit call yesterday, I said, if you are now moving your business online or you're doing virtual business and it's new, like, everybody's just here. We're all in this virtual bubble together, trying to share and communicate and connect and help. And so that, you know, I was also thinking, like, it wouldn't hurt to get online and be like, hey, my kids want to help. If you are part of an organization
yes,
and you have an idea for how my kids can help, reach out to me. Like, I feel like that the physical distancing is actually making us more socially close knit. Like, I feel like we're connecting deeper because we're physically apart. Because I would normally, the people reaching out for all kinds of things, like, you don't see it as much. And now it's like, hey, world, like, hey, global world, I need help with this. And everybody just like jumps in to help. So
I think it's heartwarming.
Takeaway, that is heartwarming.
Yeah. And I think it's, you know, it's a great opportunity for, even for her. Like, I would say, you know, get on Facebook and look up like children's charities, or get on Facebook and look up like, you know, local groups in your neighborhood that are like mom groups or whatever, and say, hey, this is what we're doing. You might even be able to enlist other kids to make these things with her, and you guys form like a little, you know, organization yourself, right? You call it something cute, and you call it something fun, and you know, donations, whatever, let her think of her name, right? And have her enlist some of her friends and say, hey, you guys, this is what we're doing. This can be like, they can get on a Zoom call and they can make the blankets together. And, you know, and then they can like, all the moms can pack them up, and you can figure out how to ship them out and send them to places. And, you know, maybe a couple of moms can take on like logistical duties and start reaching out to groups on Facebook, or even picking up the phone and calling local hospitals and local birthing centers and like that kind of stuff if you're dealing, or even, like a St. Jude's kind of place where there are kids already there that are sick and that are, you know, dealing with this kind of stuff. And it's like, you know what, those kids can also use a pick me up. Send them a blanket with like a cute note, or a you know. And what I really like right now is the idea of writing letters. I think it's a really good idea. I had my boys do, like, my little one, like, draw some stuff for my mom to put on her refrigerator, and he's gonna like mail it to her. We're gonna mail it this week. Because we don't do that anymore. Like, when was the last time you actually got a letter in the mail?
And I saw this cute thing online. It was called the Rainbow Hunt. And they asked kids to draw rainbows and to put them in their windows, because then when moms are walking with their younger children, they go on like a scavenger hunt to find rainbows, and it just helps them. Yep. So like, we're like, okay, we'll have our kids draw rainbows and put them in the window.
Yeah.
They changed over here. We did the rainbow thing last week. And my guys did them, but they didn't actually get up on the windows. But this week, you know, we're a little busy here. But this week they have what's the bear hunt. So they're asking everybody to put teddy bears in the windows, so that when the kids walk, so that one we're participating in. So I already told the boys, let's get teddy bears and put them
That's cute.
in the front window,
that
which
is
I thought was
so
really cute to like pick up everybody's spirits. It's like, you know, teddy bears on your window.
Yes. Yeah. So
and
I think like stuff like that is great.
And I love your idea of writing letters. That to me, like, I love that, because I have stamps, the mail's right here. And, you know, it just generates so many ideas. Like, we could write to, like,
nursing homes.
I was just trying to find the word. I was going to.
I heard old people. I saw old people happening, and I'm like, nursing homes.
Nursing homes, or, you know, troops, or children in the hospitals. Like, there are,
or even their own friends, you know? Right? Like,
well,
you know, I mean,
like,
I know they're online with their friends seeing them, but it's like, you know, just sending a note. Like, we're in Connecticut now, and not all of our friends, but a lot of our friends are back in New York. And it's like, I said to Elias the other day, I was like, maybe we should write a letter to Hank and just get his address. I mean, I know where he lives, but like, get his actual physical mailing address, and we can put it in the mail, and Hank can get like a letter from you. And I think that's a really lovely thing, since
and it teaches them how to write letters. It said, I read somewhere online that it said, this will be our one, I rode my dinosaur to 3 miles up the hill.
Yes, yes, I saw that too. It's the uphill both ways in the snow story for our kids. Yes.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think, there are a lot of different ways that you can help. There are a lot of different ways that you can pitch in and donate your time and donate your resources. Goodwill, all of those places I'm sure are taking donations still. I don't know if they're considered essential right now, but I think reaching out to local organizations that you want to support, even if you are in an organization like our soccer league, we're raising money for the organization that I'm doing. So, we're taking a pool of money and they're donating it to the Global Empowerment Mission. And I think that, finding something that you are really interested in and that kind of lights you up and being able to help, because when you help somebody, it always feels good, right? Like I've never been in a situation where I've gone to a board meeting or I've gone to a charitable cause or something, and it's like, this was terrible. It was terrible that they raised all of this money to do great things for other people. Like you're never going to walk away from that feeling like I didn't get something out of it. Even if you're like packing up, I mean, like I was at a charity thing last year and we were literally making packets of things to give to underprivileged or homeless people, right? It was like toothbrushes and shampoo and soap and, like that kind of stuff. But it's like, it felt good to do those things. So we all want to feel useful, especially now when we're sitting at home and like looking at each other and it's like, how do I feel useful? I mean, yes, we're homeschooling our kids and we're making dinner and we're trying to keep everybody alive for as long as we possibly can, but trying to feel helpful in a bigger way when you're literally stuck in quarantine is a very hard thing to do. So I encourage you to look for charitable organizations that are looking for people to donate their time to helping others. I mean, look at what New York City is doing. They asked for mental health people to step up and donate time to help anybody who is having a hard time going through this crisis mentally. And 6,000 mental health people volunteered in a matter of 24 hours. It was unbelievable. So
I hadn't heard that. That's amazing.
Yes, it was on Cuomo's presser this morning. Yep, 6,100 people.
And the thing is too, we're always like, what big global, I mean, in your case, yes, but I'm saying sometimes if it seems overwhelming to go big, it's okay to just help small. Like we can help and reach out to the people in our circle and say, like, is there anything I could do for you today? Is there anything I could say to you today that can help you? How do you feel? Like it doesn't always have to be on a global scale. It can be, but for people who that might feel overwhelming to, it's okay to also just phone a neighbor. I have how old is he? 85-year-old neighbor that we keep calling and checking on. And
yes,
that helps, and it's your small contribution. Like you can't, I feel like sometimes we forget that the little tiny things that help are also equally important. And it's just a matter of what you have the capacity to give right now. And if your capacity is small because you have people who are sick at home or you're sick, then small is absolutely wonderful.
Anything is wonderful.
I have to say, just from my own personal experience over this because we haven't left the house in 2 weeks, and I don't think Krista, but we're all sick here. I'm doing okay, but Scott's been in bed. And over the last week, I finally started taking people's help who want, like friends of mine checking in, like, what do you need? And I had a friend go grocery shopping for us today because I can't leave the house. And, like we have enough stuff here, but there were certain things that like, I wanted to, like that Scott needed for, to try to get him to eat, some different things that, we didn't have. And that kind of thing. So I'm so grateful for my friends, and I think that that's the thing. Like it can be something small that you can do and just check in on a friend or on your neighbor or like on the phone and just say like, can I get something delivered to you? And it was really hard for me to accept like the help because I'm a very sort of self-sufficient, like I do everything on my own, but I was like, I'm literally like, I can't do anything. And we couldn't get anything delivered because all the delivery times are Like nothing's
Oh, right. They're crazy.
delivered.
Yeah. Yep.
So I was, so I'm so grateful to have, good friends and the support of people checking in. And so I just wanted to say that because of what Linda
Absolutely.
said, that just checking in on your friends or your family and, even calling, your parents if they're around and just like, hey, making sure that you're okay. I love you. I miss you, as silly as that may seem. My parents are here watching me, so that's makes me feel good. My mom's giving the thumbs up. But, sometimes that's enough. Like, and I use my parents as an example.
I know, Mom. I'm so proud. I love it. I'm so.
What's happening?
You can't see my mom's drinking wine.
I see it.
That's
amazing.
I love you.
Wait, we have to show her on screen. I'm just going to pin the video. Go ahead, Mom. Now everybody can see your wine.
Yes.
That's amazing. I love it. Yes.
There's my dad.
I love you guys. That's so good.
I mean, we're going to Canada when this shit's over. We're going to go like drink with your parents.
But like, I don't talk to my parents all that often just because
Right.
of, like we're not the parent child, like that
Right.
talk to each other every day. Like we get along very well and we hang out, but we don't really talk every day, but we've been talking a lot more because this is the kind of time that we can just reconnect with people. And I've had friends reach out that I haven't spoken to in ages.
Mm-hmm.
So little things like that is also like putting your love out there and helping people and just making sure that you're basically letting your friends know that you're thinking of them.
Yeah.
And just listening, like my mom and I are the kind that talk 400 times a day. Sometimes my mom is calling with things that normally I'd be like, oh, Mom, I gotta go. I'm making dinner. Because but now I'm like listening and letting her, because it's what she needs right now. You know, she needs to say it, whether I agree with it or not. She needs to, we're a mile apart and we haven't seen each other in 3 weeks. And it's hurting her, and she hasn't seen the babies, and she's like, she just wants to talk. And so whatever's on her mind, even if I would normally have been like, Mom, stop it.
Right.
Now I'm like, it's okay. Sure. I love it. That's great. Yeah.
We're all doing that.
That's what she needs. And you just give people what they need. And that is benevolence,
And I
also think that
I think we
totally,
that, it's like,
totally.
Right? I mean, Krista, if we not being able to hug each other is
hard.
tough.
It's terrible.
It is tough.
It's terrible. But I also know, and the other thing we're doing is there's a lot of virtual conversations happening, right? So like tonight I'm doing a virtual girls' night with 4 of my friends who I haven't seen in a couple of months, and we haven't had dinner together. And now we're like, in this quarantine, and one of them's husband is actually sick. And so he was just diagnosed with it. And she's like, I don't know what the fuck we're going to do. And so she's feeling on edge.
Yeah.
So we're like, let's hop on my Zoom tonight and we'll just, everybody grab a glass of wine and we're just going to chat. Right. I mean, this is our I'm calling it the temporary normal.
I love that. I love that you're not saying new normal. I
it's not new.
That.
This is temporary.
I love that. I love that so much, Krista.
And we're going to come out of it and we're going to be fine and it's all going to be okay. And everyone's going to, learn. But I think that for right now, our temporary normal is connecting with the people that we need to connect with and creating pockets of circles of being able to help each other, right? Like help your neighbors, help the people that you, are close to, help your friends who are in need of help. That goes just as far as your donation to, whatever charity that you're donating to, because you're still helping. You're not locking yourself in. And if you're somebody who doesn't know how to ask for help, learn how to ask for help, because it's one of the best things you can do, number one. And if you're somebody who doesn't, don't know how to come out of your shell and give help, then, just reach out and I will help you do that.
And you know what?
It's not hard. It's not hard.
Can we please give people the information of your, the foundation that you started? So that people can can you put it into the chat, or I can put it into
I'll look for it right now.
Just
Thank
that,
you.
I mean, I do
talking.
like that you're encouraging everybody to find their own cause. But if, you're listening to this and you think, wow, I would love to support Krista's cause.
Then you have a way to do it.
Yes.
And I want to say that I have learned in the last 3 years, that's been my journey of a huge lesson you just mentioned. So I want to take a moment to reiterate it because it took me 42 years to learn it, is that help, getting help, asking for help, receiving help is a form of self-care.
Of course it is.
And it
Yeah,
took
and
me
I
a
think
very
we all
long
had to learn
time
that the hard way. I mean, I
Yeah.
didn't learn it until I was 40, literally.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Me.
we were, yes, well, you know, like, listen, and no offense to the moms who are watching this, but we weren't taught take care of yourself first. We were taught take care of your husband and your children and your home and your this and that and that. And if you have 5 minutes for yourself to read a book, then congratulations. Like, it wasn't, nobody said you matter first. That felt selfish, not selfless. Right. So, and even for us now, as we are pivoting into taking care of ourselves and helping ourselves, sometimes it still feels selfish. It's like, oh, there's a little bit of guilt happening because I'm going to go on this 3-day weekend with Trish and Linda and leave my kids
Yes,
behind.
that we need to plan that ASAP.
Yes.
However,
Lord, sun is shining.
I have learned that those kinds of things are, you need them, right? You need those moments. You need to be able to, like, for me right now, I meet one of my girlfriends every day. We socially distance walk every day around our neighborhood because we're in the country and then nobody is here. So it's like, whatever. But if I didn't have my daily sanity walks with Marion, I think we both would be like jumping out the windows of our houses. Like, it's, you know, it's like, it's just a lot.
And the event that I went to in Dallas where I met Trish, where Patricia and I met, was my first time doing something for myself. Like, I'm going to leave my kids for 3 days and go away. I'd never done it before. I felt 100% crazy for doing it. It's what the book I'm writing is completely based on, because it's that weekend that I learned how important, like, I came back a better mother, a better wife, because I had reconnected to myself. And it changed everything. And
you came back with a new bestie.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, and then we did, you know, Trish and I have committed to that. I've done trips to New York. She's done trips here. Like, we have not been shy. You know, we shot.
No, that's how it should be.
And we did it. And it's good for the soul. It's good for the soul.
A little help is good for everybody.
Yeah.
So that's my spiel. That's my story. I think, you know, it's important.
And the link is in the comments.
We
post it.
Yeah.
So that people, you know, have a way to directly contact you.
And we will be posting these interviews. I can't stand looking at my nails, people. I didn't get nail polish remover. My mom is like probably watching and dying and embarrassed. I'm jealous because you had nail polish remover and you have Joelle to paint your nails.
And they're gold.
They look great.
They look
I just went and bought nail polish for the first time in like 20 years. I was in Walmart the other day and I was like, oh shit, I should be buying nail polish because who's going to do these things? Like, I haven't done them yet, but I bought the polish and I bought the remover and the top coat and the base coat. I was like, buy the whole thing.
I haven't had time even to get like the remover. Like, I don't have any nail polish remover at home. So I was like,
don't you have someone shopping for you today? Let them get removed.
Yeah, but that seemed kind of frivolous. Like, I was like, I need fruit,
it's $1.
I need milk, and
a nail polish remover.
But it was going to take like probably going to another store.
Oh, got it.
And I'm like, I felt bad enough making her go to the store for me, but you know, there was some stuff that we needed. So
crazy.
That was really helpful. So
I hope so.
If you're watching this at home and you know, you're feeling helpless, and let me tell you, even if you're not feeling helpless but you're kind of going through stuff right now, and as you guys know, because I've been sharing, there's a lot of stuff going on in my house, and there's a lot I'm managing with everybody sick, and but every opportunity that I've had to at least give, you know, I can't give my time because that's just not possible in the situation that I'm in. But I was, you know, I definitely donated to the fund, and also locally there was another, you're very welcome. There was another thing that happened locally where they were raising money for the hospitals to get food for the hospital workers. Like, things like that. It's just like a small thing, but it's like, it made me feel like I was in some way contributing. And that can make you feel better when you're feeling helpless. And it's not even helpless in terms of like, I want to help, but just helpless as in like, I don't know what to do. There's so much going on. but doing something nice for somebody or for, supporting a cause in whatever way you can does really shift your perspective.
Yes. Agreed.
Yeah. Awesome. Um,
Thank you guys for having me.
that was so great, Krista. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you for being here. And you gave me like a page full of inspiration and ideas. So I really appreciate it. I'm like,
good.
oh, I'm going to reach out to because, the PTA moms are still on
Yes.
a website. And I'm just going to be like, let's get the kids involved. And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
it just, this is what reaching out does. It gets your wheels spinning. So,
And then what you should do is, just because I'm a pro at this, apparently,
that's right.
reach out to like your local news organization, like you're in Florida, your local WESH station or whatever you have down there. But like, it doesn't have to be like national news, but like call the local TV station and be like, look what we're doing. Like, you need to come out here and do a little story on us. Or, I mean, they're not coming out to do anything. It's all virtual, but like they'll Skype with your kids and do like maybe they'll do like a little expose on their charity work. That'd be super fun for them.
It would be super fun.
That's such a great idea. I love that. I love
Yeah.
that. And they're probably looking, for stories.
Content.
Yeah, for like heartwarming, uplifting things that community, especially like community people in like your local community news or whatever, they're always looking for that stuff. And it's like, oh, this is especially now is a great time to do this thing.
Yeah. That's great. That's great. Thank you so much, Krista. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Keep doing the good work you're doing.
Pleasure. We're gonna go raise more millions of dollars.
I'm so excited. So do you have I'm just curious, do you have like an amount of where you're at right now with the fund?
I actually don't know. I haven't gotten a report in a few days. We were in the tens of thousands at the middle of last week.
That's awesome.
But we just got, and I don't know who's a New York Housewife fan, but like Bethany Frankel is also in this thing. Like her charity supports this charity. So she has just partnered with like Ellen DeGeneres.
I saw that. So that is connected
so that's
with
part
you?
of this fund.
That's
so
awesome.
That's part of this. So I don't know, so that is going toward helping with the masks and all the PPE stuff. And then ours is an offshoot of it. So there's two different funds you can donate to. But it's raising awareness among that crowd, right? So I think Christy Brinkley was donating the other day. Alexa Ray Joel was donating the other day. So it's gaining traction. So we're not going to stop it, right? We're going to just keep going and keep raising money and keep using the money to like get the cash cards and give the masks and do what we need to do. So it's been really interesting and very empowering and just hard. It just feels good.